What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here. Hey, I wanted to hit you up with some thoughts here and maybe kind of decode what I hear sometimes, in terms of what I think people are talking about. There is this comment that I see a lot that selling is hard, getting enough clients is hard. And the problem is, I think we're conflating a few different things. Selling isn't hard per se. I did a video on this, especially if you really believe in the product or service that you're selling, you think the value is good. I think we can do a pretty good job of selling. I think anyone who's persuasive on anything is doing some selling. Hey, this is a great dish. You should try it. It's so healthy and it's cheap to make and it's easy. It's blah, blah. You're kind of selling right there. I think when we're really inspired and convinced of something, we sell. So selling isn't hard. There are two pieces to this that are hard that I think we probably need to dig into, and it's probably the pieces that people need to focus on, because I think a lot of people worry on their about their pitch, and that's not the issue. The real issue is having enough opportunities to sell, right? So getting in front of people, having the numbers, right? Having the audience, the what I call the awares, filling that funnel, seeing enough people that might be interested in financial coaching so that you can tell them what you do, share them with them the benefits, maybe explore a little bit, do a little discovery, those types of things, so that you can winnow it down to people who are maybe ready to continue that conversation, and winnow that down to the people who are maybe willing to hand over money to you and to work with you and to work with you again, right? So it's not the selling piece that's often the trouble, which is where a lot of people work on. Hey, is this talking point? Am I talking about the benefit enough here, or am I kind of talking about the feature set? Those types of things. I don't think that's that hard. I think when you get into those conversations, you'll kind of find that natural gravity. What I think is hard is finding enough people. That enough people is also the crux of the other piece of this, which I think is hard. Providing enough income to support your lifestyle. And this is where I think a lot of people need financial coaching to provide for themselves. And I've talked to some people and connected with some people here from the YouTube channel about that. And, some people maybe only have a $2,000 a month nut that they need to cover, right? And I say that's not because that's a lot or a little, but I actually don't think that's too much. But coming up with $2,000 a month in income can be difficult in financial coaching. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it can be. And when you think about, hey, $2,000 in revenue is probably not enough. You probably have some costs above that. You probably have some taxes that you should be paying on that too. So, if you need $2,000 to pay for your food, clothing, shelter, you might need, $2,500 or $3,000 of revenue to cover some of those costs, your business costs, and taxes and your obligations there, before you can pass that through for yourself or your personal expenses. So selling is often uh, painted as the boogeyman, when the issue is having enough awares, having enough opportunities to create sales, and then two, having that to be enough to translate into enough income. So if you are saying that, hey, selling is tough and I'm just not getting the sales, we need to really figure out how can we get you in front of more people. And it may not be answers that you like. It may be standing on the street corner handing out flyers or brochures. It may be speaking to an empty room because you sign yourself up as a free speaker at 10 different events, and people just might not be there. I've done it too. I've sat on a stage with my legs dangling because no one came to my breakout session, and I wasn't going to give the presentation to an empty room. I've also had it where one person has showed up, and I have given the presentation like I was giving it to 1,000. I've also had sessions where one person has showed up and I just sat at the table with them and kind of had that conversation, translate or transferring all that information that I would have in the presentation, but in a more conversational way. So I've tried a bunch of those. I've also had it where I've been overwhelmed, where it was standing room only and people packed against the wall. So, the reality is you just don't know what those are going to be. And so you have to kind of put yourself out there for more. So you got to get the more wares, you got to get more eyeballs. And then you got to do those types of things so that you can translate those into more sales, translate that into more income. So again, I'm a little glib when I'm saying selling isn't hard, because it's all those other components that go into it, beyond the pitch, beyond the sales conversation itself. So hopefully that helps. If you want more ideas, happy to jump online and discuss them. Discuss what you might be able to do in your area or for your style. All right. Hopefully that helps. See you later.